call you, so you might want to come back. I'm commentating.
Let me get this set up real quick.
We are underway.
Table number 6, Billy Sharp and Calvin Chaparral. Table 6, Billy Sharp, Calvin Chaparral. Table number 6.
All righty.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, Lou, I'm going to turn it over to Redbird, who's going to commentate for a little bit with Austin. You need to update the score. You go here with Sonny and here for David.
How's it going, man? I'm Red.
I'm Austin. How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you. How's it going, Lou? Good to see you. From the stream, from Texas. I was watching Sonny. And what kind of cues he playing with?
I think he's playing. I want to say, I think he's playing with a Predator Revo shaft. I'm not sure what the butt is, though.
It's like a line, like a kind of a puke green color, but it looks really cool. I don't know.
It is. It's definitely got some visual effects going on with it, that's for sure.
If I saw him out in public playing with that, I think he couldn't play, and I'd get robbed. All right, so that game goes to David.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I recognize Sonny from a couple of tournaments. I don't think I've ever seen David before, but that's not really shocking as often as I get out these days.
Right. Well, I mean, there's so many good players these days, you know? You just don't know
yeah.
who's who anymore.
Social media has actually just really ruined the hustler world, though.
Right.
We've pretty much gotten to the point where we just have really good pool players now. There's no more hustlers because you can't hustle anymore. Used to be guys would come in, run a game, like we're in town on a business trip or something like that, and then just eat a pool room up over a series of days, but not anymore, man. Now you just get a photo of somebody or find out their real name and look them up in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's
You're
why I
like,
got a
wait a
nickname.
minute, you're a champ. You're one of these guys that really knows how to play this game.
There's watching these guys play bar table 9-ball, man. It's a different game. I don't know how they control the cue ball so well in this game. I was talking to Blaine Barkis about Shane versus Skylar Woodward the other day.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Skylar puts more packs together than Shane does on a bar table, which is interesting. And 9-ball specifically, on a bar box specifically.
Yeah. Well, it's I think it's more along it's, just simple physics a lot of times. You have those guys play so well on 9-foots, but when you break on a 9-foot, you've got 2 extra feet of table for the balls to spread on.
Right.
So you're always going to be more compact. Now, are your shots easier on a bar box? A lot of times they are, but you also have a lot more opportunities for balls to get tied up. You might come around and clip a ball that you wouldn't normally, or scratch because you wouldn't be coming anywhere near it on a 9-foot.
Wow, that was he had a tough shot there.
Yeah, he did. But the aspect of the safety game, it's harder to get a safe on a bar box, I think.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can use distance on a 9-foot. Even with a pro, you can still use distance on a 9-foot. You don't have that option on a bar box.
Right.
Distance just does not play as much of a factor whenever you're playing safety game.
I think one of the biggest differences I see between like the good players and the really, really good players is when you realize you don't have a shot, you're setting up to play a safety rather than playing a safety when you have to.
Right. If they know that they can't get to, like, they've got a group of balls that they can't get to, they don't risk it. They set up literally, like you said, they just set up immediately. It's like, okay, I know I can't get there, so I plant the cue ball in such a way that I've made the safe super easy to play, and then they just play an absolute lock-up safe.
Right. So the screen to our riders are that's our live screen.
Yeah, and it's got a delay on it, I believe.
I got you. Because I thought our score was 2-1 Bosshammer. But I don't know. I was watching before I got on. I was watching. I thought it was up.
Yeah,
2-1,
I'm on it. I wasn't even watching, to be honest with you. I just watch the games, and a lot of times I don't keep track. Is it 2-1? Or is it? Well, no. Are they using the? I don't know if they're using the scorekeeper in the back.
Oh, I see. Well, we're about
Nope.
to find out. Yeah.
I think it's actually 1-1.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be 10-1. He almost grabbed the other one. 10-1, I win.
Are you? What do you think about the AccuStats rack in comparison to the Magic rack? Or have you played with that or dabbled in that?
Yeah, I've played with both, and I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying I'm like the pioneer or maybe the reason for it, but I said when the Magic rack came out, what I noticed about it immediately was there was a lot of slide because there's literally no friction because it's a smooth piece of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the AccuRack, at least it's made out of a smaller, thinner pressed felt.
Right.
So the balls actually react more naturally coming off of the break. Now, I've actually talked to a lot of pros, and I'm not going to name any names on here because I don't want to rat anybody out, but I know that a lot of the older school pros really don't like the template racks, and for good reason. It takes away. Anytime you have a template rack, you're virtually guaranteed to make a ball on every single break.
Right.
So, especially in a tournament like this now, yes, we have an amateur tournament and we have an open division, but your higher level players using a template rack, in a short race like this, if you get one high level player in here and they get a break, you might not even get out of your chair.
Yeah, you're not getting much of a chance. Well, this is a Lonestar tournament, but a few weeks ago they had the Big Time Classic.
Yep.
And they were wrecking the 9 on the spot.
Now I actually agree with that more than keeping it on the spot. keeping a one ball on the spot, because it does add an element of difficulty, I guess you could say,
You mean
and
keeping
also
the 9-ball on the spot?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it adds a higher level of difficulty. And if I'm not mistaken, at the big time, you also had to break from inside the box.
Yes, you did, which is, I mean, on the bar table, I think, you got to find out where your advantages are at, because you have advantages from the box with a 9 on the spot, but
Yep.
if you don't know where they are because you haven't been practicing that, then you just don't know.
Right.
But it's the same rules for everybody, so.
Right. And if you don't come in and practice, I mean, that's why Shane comes in any tournament. Shane will come in and break 50 times on the table
Yeah.
to perfect his break, which is, a lot of people are like, man, that's insane. But, I mean, you think about it. Once you get to where you can run out all day, the break really has become the most important shot to you.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. It goes deep. I spent 4 hours breaking on a bar table the other day. Just sat there for 4 hours straight breaking. Just racking and breaking. Didn't play one game by myself. And I just learned a lot from the way the balls are racked, without the rack or with the rack. And it's just, so, people think 4 hours is a lot. Sure, but you'll learn a lot in that 4 hours.
Yep.
It's worth it.
And that's, I heard, and I thought this was a good saying I heard the other day, the difference between a pro and a really good player is a really good player will practice a shot until they're good at it. A pro practices it until they've perfected it.
Okay.
And that's the truth. Like, we were just talking about it a couple of minutes ago. When you watch Shane, when he breaks, you see him look at the table, and you can just see with the look on his face, he already knows exactly how he's going to play the rack.
Right. Yeah,
Every
he's
single
already
time.
decided which position for every ball.
Exactly. He looks at it. He literally, you'll see him pause for about 10 seconds, and then he's just like, a lot of times he'll like give a little nod, like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. And then he just runs. He runs out. And you see Skylar do the same thing. Billy does the same thing. Basically all the Moscone Cup team, they do the same thing on both sides. You'll watch them do it. They'll just stop. They'll look at the rack, and they know exactly where every ball is going to go at that point. And then every now and then you'll see they'll get out of line, but then you'll see them stop. They'll readjust their plan, and then you see them nod, and they take off running again. It's it's insane what you can learn just in your mental game by watching the pros.
Right, yeah, just sitting there and watching a lot of TV time, I guess, like watching the games over and over again.
Oh yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at Lou on the chat. Redbird is a hustler to this day.
But he can get the last two. What?
12, please don't leave before you get your payday.
Physics is fake news, Austin. Okay.
Physics is fake news. Nah, man, I talked to Donald Trump. He believes in physics.
Well, there is a pro pool player out there that is a flat earther. I'm not going to name his name, but if you know who I'm talking about, that's interesting.
Yeah.
This is a race to 5.
That would be wild if we did find out that theirs was flat. I'm just saying, man.
We got mountains. Can't be flat.
So if you dig deep enough, do you just dig into space?
Get to China.
Cesar Arechiga.
Yeah, I also feel like, I started playing on 9-foots, and I have a passion for carom billiards. So bar box 9-ball is like a totally, I just scratch on everything. And so it's interesting just having to pattern your balls differently just to get out on a bar box in comparison to a 9-foot.
I made the mistake yesterday. I'm not a pro by any means, but I did make the mistake of warming up on a 9-foot for like 3 hours before I played. So basically I was either under hitting stuff because I knew I was on a short table, or I was over hitting it by about 2 dimes. A simple rudimentary shot became something totally different.
Right. I was actually I come on here like 3 or 4 months ago to play in the Thursday night tournament, and Blaine or Nestor over here on the 9-foot just hitting balls. I'm like, hey, I want to get ready for the tournament and go practice on one of these bar tables. And they're like, oh no, like I practice over there. They call my name up. I'm like, well, where's table 4 at? And I was like, the tournament was on the 9-foot. So I was practicing for the bar table on the bar table for a 9-foot. And I was like, oh, it's messed up. I just don't ever play tournaments on 9-foots that often, unless they're one-pocket tournaments, which I've never played in. All right. David Twitty, 3-1.
Yep. So how do you feel about template racks?
I think that they are, I want to say bad for the game. That's my first answer. But the more I've studied it, with playing with different racks, I've realized it's just a whole different game that you have to add to your game.
Right.
So it's like, like the best 8-ball players are strong one-pocket players. Like they know a lot about how to hide safeties that you don't see in 8-ball that you do see in one pocket. And so, but a lot of guys who are good at 8-ball don't play one pocket. And so I just think, like, instead of, for me, I don't want to deny myself access to like a wealth of knowledge by studying those racks because I think they're bad for the game. So I practice my break on a magic rack. I practice it with the AccuStats rack. I practice it with a triangle. I practice it with, whatever the break is, whatever we're using. I'm going to practice it with that on that table and try to figure out what's going on there, because they all have their pros and cons, and some pros or cons more or less. I mean, yes, it's easier to make balls with a magic rack, but it's easier for both players, assuming they know how to do it.
Well, and that's my take on it is, if you're going to use template racks in a tournament, I get a lot of flack for this. I think if you're going to use a template rack, then it has to be alternating break.
I think
that's the only way to make it fair, because you get 2 pros, like say you could clone yourself, and there was 2 of you, and you both play equally well. Well, it's not really fair to either one of you to sit in your chair while the other guy breaks and runs 6 racks.
Yeah, you're saying that if we could assume that both players are playing their best, then, and with a magic rack, it makes it unfair to even a guy who's,
even another pro that's just as good as the other guy who can run out just as good.
And really the hard part to argue about against alternate breaks is, it's like, well, if you just are lagging for the break, well then it's easy. Then you can't really argue it. If you're flipping for the break,
right? Then luck determines it.
Yeah.
But if you lag for it and the other guy, you or the other guy wins it, then you've won the right to have the if it goes hill, you've won the right to have the last break with a shot versus flipping for it.
Was it a race to 5 or a race to 3?
4, I believe.
4. Okay, yeah, 4 on the loser side.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you deserve the right, and that's the lag is something that's very easily, I think
it's overlooked too.
It's overlooked a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, and I've, like you said, you practiced the break. I've practiced lags for hours.
Yeah.
Because I knew
David,
I was in a tournament that you lagged for.
Where are you from? What is it? Close to Madisonville. Oh, close to Madisonville? Okay, cool.
Well, I know where that's at.
About 30 minutes north of
I got you. You got a good game, man. Good job. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading what's going on. Yeah, it's Sonny. I've never beat Sonny.
What?
I've never beat Sonny. Sonny Bosshammer?
Oh yeah.
I've never beat him. He plays good. So I guess he's out.
Yep. See if Kim calls the next one.
Yeah.
I have to get Mike in here to do all the typing, man. I'm a relatively intelligent individual, but I don't know how to do any of the streaming stuff.
Oh, I got you. I wonder who I guess Ernesto, Bayalo, and Blame just finished. So I wonder who won that match.
Oh, just now or because
They just finished over there. I was watching them over there.
Well, if Ernesto was playing like he was playing in his last match, it was quick for a reason because Ernesto played like God in the last match he was on the TV table. I think he won it. He was either 6-0 or 6-1. And he just Ernesto's one thing I have to say about Ernesto is he adjusts pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Like
he does.
he can go from a 9 foot to a 7 foot in one set, and he's pretty much dialed in, you know.
Yeah, no, it's actually very interesting you say that because Ernesto and I play 3-cushion quite often, and we both like he's the only person I have that I play pool with and play 3-cushion with regularly, like play both disciplines regularly. And we were playing Taiwanese carom on a 9 foot yesterday. And just interesting watching him. He adjusts very quickly. I'm surprised you noticed. He just it's amazing to be able to adjust that quick going from so many different games and different tables. So like to play on a carom table versus playing on a 9 foot is night and day difference. They all
absolutely. I mean, you're not just in the size difference, but I mean the game. You're adjusting from one discipline to another completely.
Yeah.
I mean, and you always get the same people. Well, you're still just hitting balls. It's like, you know, you're right. You're just hitting balls, but it's like going to the city golf course and then turning around and playing on a Arnold Palmer golf course. It's a little bit different game.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, it's different. No, Lou, we're not ignoring you. Just a lot to read on the stream. I'm getting text messages and messages on there.
He's like, tell the other guy to shut up. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what they say, man. Those who can't do, teach, and those who can't teach, commentate.
I'm going to use that. People think I'm somebody for talking on this chat. There's the guy to watch out for in this tournament that nobody knows is Jay Winters. He's hiding over there behind that lady in the purple shirt and a pink shirt. Yeah.
I can't say that. Is he the one in the red shirt?
He's
guy sitting next to the guy in the purple shirt?
Yeah, that guy. That guy plays so strong. I was here the other day at Big Time Classic, and I've known Jay for a little bit now. And he almost beat Skylar Woodward.
What?
Yeah. Almost really laid a beating on Skylar in the beginning, and Skylar came back and won. But I mean, he laid it down.
Can I get right there so I can stop
Yep.
it? And I got to mention my sponsors.
All right. Mike's coming back in. Give the all-important information about our sponsors here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I got to mention my sponsors. Blaine Barkus. If you need your tables moved, call Blaine Barkus. You need your tables refilled, call Blaine Barkus. Order rails and call Blaine Barkus at with Q's and Kitchen Billiard Service. 281-961-1335. Mention the stream, you get a 5% discount. Chris Gutierrez specializes in all types of hardware floor installation from custom installs to luxury vinyl tile. He also sand and refinish of existing wood floors by them at custom color and a protective finish. He also provides waxing repairs and maintenance of wood floor. He's a member of the BBB with the A+ rating. Heather and Charlie Brandt. Visit their sites, www.brutalusa.com. Fully customized apparel for all sports and games. Pick the color of your apparel. Pick the color of your logo. Add your name. Also, www.brianbilliard.com, featuring the Hillbilly Thundertube, brake cues, Ultrafield products, BQ carbon fiber shafts, and more. You can also find Charlie's lessons and similar information, free instructional videos, and event calendar on his site too. Jason Romero, Team High Risk, a bunch of real gamblers that doesn't have to be nits to gamble.
Jimmy Burr, table 15, race to 6. Leon Contreras, Jimmy Burr, table 15, race to 6.
Your official sponsor for this event, Poison Q's official Q sponsors. Check out their site, www.poisonqs.com. Also, PredatorQs.com. Your official balls, Predator Arcos 2. Your official club, Predator Arcadia Club. Also sponsored for this event, APA North Harris County. Sign up for links now. Alamo Billiards sells cues. And your official rack for this event, the AccuRack by Outsfield Products. Outsfield Billiards. We'll be right back in the next matchup.